and we asked the question, what was the one thing that almost made you not buy? The person who just gave you money, who just said that we trust you and we're excited to get this thing, will now tell you what wasn't clear, what friction points they had, or what they wish was different. And we take that data and we go back and we make the site better. We leave that run all the time. And it's like this perpetual wheel that just continues to tell us what's not clear. What have we done that's like added complexity? And as we remove that and we take care of that, we get win after win after win.
You're still going to have all your post-purchase one-click up sales and things like that. You're talking
Yep.
about the final thank you page after all the order bumps, etc. That's
Yep.
the page. And then what you're saying is this is an additional plugin or whatever. Lucky Orange, you said, is what you're using. And it's an actual like pop-up, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it's just a little square that comes up and it says, what's the one thing that almost made you not buy? And it leaves it open so they can put whatever they want in there. And I'd say we probably on average get between 10 and 20% of people will fill it out. And those are the ones that we want.
yeah, love it. And then you
Yeah,
can go take action on that,
yeah,
right?
yeah. The other thing is, in my attempt to provide value, I've always been preach it needs to be sustainable. And so this is something that you can set up once and then you literally continue to get benefit from it for as long as you're looking at the results that people are giving you. It's not one of those things that requires a lot of work and you got to send out a bunch of emails, you got to do a bunch of stuff. It's literally let people fill it out and those replies get all added to a Excel spreadsheet. And now what we're doing is we're taking all those replies and actually interacting with them with AI and coming up with insights that we're not typically thinking of just because it can aggregate hundreds and thousands of responses that we've got over the past several years and come up with it's really actually very fun what we're doing.
That is super exciting. I love that. My mind's going a million miles an hour already, thinking of the possibilities, especially with the AI behind it all.
Yeah.
Matt, I love this. I know you've got more ninja optimization hacks to share with us, so let's dive into the next one.
Okay. Yeah, the next one that I would say is again something that anybody that has a website can use. And in the attempt to give them the most value, I can tell you we've never done this on a website where it didn't produce a lift. And what it is on your checkout, you ask for their email, their address, the phone number, all of the information that you need in order to ship them their product. What people don't do is in those form fields, we track every error because we're trying to optimize. That's the closest place to the money. So if we can get rid of the errors on the checkout, that translates into directly more money. And so what we did is in tracking those errors, we realized that the email and the phone is where all the errors were. People weren't getting the address wrong. And now with Google's like auto suggest, it fills it in and people can, that's actually helped conversions a lot too. We used to do that through a plugin
Mm,
with Google before it became a standard practice, and that was always kind of one of our secret sauce to get the checkout to work out better. But now what we do is we change the text in that form field, and the attempt was to reduce that number of errors. And it came from a book that I was reading called Persuasion by Robert Cialdini. And in it, he talks about this experiment they did where people could cut in line. And about 8 out of 10 people would tell them no if they just asked to cut. If they gave them a reason, like my kids are going to be late for school or I'm running behind, um, now 8 out of 10 people would let them cut in front of them. It didn't matter what the reason was, 8 out of 10 people would let them. And so the principle was people don't mind giving you permission or giving you information if you give them a reason why. And so I thought like, wow, if we're getting all these errors here, why don't we tell them why we're asking for their email? Most people are like, I don't want to be spammed. We have this like unconscious thing of like we have more than one email, so we kind of put our junk email in those because we don't want them to start marketing to us like crazy. And so what we did is we put email required for order confirmation. And the email order confirmation is opened 85% of the time on average. So that's the most opened email that you'll ever send. And also, who doesn't want to make sure that their order is correct? And so now by telling them that, they give you their best email. And like I shared with you before the recording, I would like to say, hey, I kind of knew this was going to happen 2, 3 steps down the way. I didn't. What we noticed is our abandoned recovery went up. And we believed because now we're marketing to their very best email, we capture more of them.
I
So
think,
once
yeah.
we go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I just think it's just like it's one of those uh, Jedi mind hack tricks, right? Where you're already doing this, right? You're already collecting the email. It's not that we're saying, hey, make sure you collect email addresses and cell phone numbers from people. What you're saying is like to increase the number of people that give that information to you without
And the
hesitation.
quality of it.
Yes,
And the
and yeah,
quality of the information.
because all of us have the spam email, right? That we give
Yeah.
out to everybody. It's, oh, enter the sweepstakes, get a free hat. Okay, well,
Yeah.
here's my email, right? And then you give them your
Yeah.
spam email. But you're right. Like so many people are like, oh, I do want to make sure I get the text when this thing's been delivered or order
Yeah.
confirmation. So, anyways, tell me more because you've seen big wins from abandoned cart to
Yeah.
post
Yeah. So
purchase conversions, right?
yeah. So when SMS became really big, we realized, wow, we get a lot of revenue. It's like the number one source of revenue is SMS recovery compared to all the rest of the things that we do. And in many cases, it's as much as our email marketing altogether. And so we're like, well, we can improve that too. And so under the phone, we put required phone required for shipping notification. Everybody wants to know when their stuff shipped. It doesn't matter if it's even shipping the same day. You want to know when it's shipping. And so subconsciously, you give your best, you give them, the correct one. And what we did is we were tracking these and we got about a 279% increase. So that doesn't mean we got 3 times the revenue. What it means is people were giving us improper emails and improper phone, or it wasn't a complete phone number, which didn't stop the order. But we reduced those form field errors 279%. So in that, we've got as much as, like I was sharing with you, we've got as much as a 17% lift on the checkout from just changing those 2 things. And one of the sites that we were tracking it, they do about 60 million a year in digital products. And so for them, that 17% lift was huge. It was huge.
Yeah. As we leave the audience, I love to leave them with 3 actionable takeaways from every episode. Here are the 3 that I noted for today. Let me know if I'm missing something. Number 1, it all starts with customer service. And you shared your very first hack, in my opinion, Matt, is nothing more than customer service, which is, hey, when a customer gets to that thank you confirmation page, you have a pop-up that says, what was the one thing that made you almost not buy? Right?
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
nothing more than just customer service, which is like, okay, whatever it was that, like, what are the common patterns that I'm seeing here? Oh, it's like they didn't understand the size of the product well enough. Okay, that's the change that we make, right? Which goes back to customer service. So that's action item number 1, enhance your customer service and just listen to the feedback of your customers. Action item number 2 is actually showcase and demonstrate that you're listening to the customers by having those 1 or 2 star reviews featured on your website and actually showing that you've responded to those people, that you've handled their situations, and then type up, what do you want future customers, the next future 100,000 visitors to that website to see about that experience. That's how you write that review. And in fact, maybe that becomes the review that sits at the top, because that's what people are going to resonate the most and be like, oh, okay, great. I see the other 500 reviews that are 5 stars. I don't care about those, but this shows me that this brand cares. They're going to correct anything if a problem arises. They show up.
Yeah,
Okay.
and if you talk about what you've done wrong, they automatically trust that you're going to take care of them, because you wouldn't do that if you didn't have the morals and ethics to be able to handle it.
Yeah, I love that. Third and final action item here, and I think this applies across all conversion rate optimizations, Matt, which is like, if there is any ambiguity in something, it's going to decrease performance and conversion rates. And my favorite hack that you shared, the Jedi mindset shift here, is this, right? When you ask for their email and their phone number on that order information page, in that field, you need to tell them, hey, give me your email so I can send you the order confirmation. Hey, I need your SMS or your cell phone number so that I can provide you with shipping updates.
Yep.
That's it. And you're going to see that like across the board, you're going to have much accurate customer information. But then likewise, if you do that on throughout your pages on your website, this button leads to this. See more, add to cart, buy now. When you do that, when you just like remove the ambiguity, it increases conversions across the board. Is that sufficient, Matt? Anything else you feel like I missed here?
No, I would say that you're spot on. I totally agree with that.
Love it. All right, Matt, the final 3 questions. Number 1, what has been the most influential book that you've read and why?
I would say I've read a lot of books. Letting Go is probably one of the most influential books. Uh, I have another very smart mentor that brought something up to me. I used to say, I'm really smart. I'm a hard worker. And he goes, man, I used to say that too. He goes, but I changed that question to, what if I'm not very smart? And he goes, what does that do? And I said, oh, that opens me up for more possibility. Like, oh, I could look at other things. Because the moment that we think we know the answer, or we're smart, I know the answer, we're not looking for a better solution. And so letting go of these different stories that we've told ourselves through the years of, I'm smart and I'm a hard worker. Well, what if I wasn't smart? And what if I didn't have to work so hard to get everything? And so by doing that, it's made business a lot more fun.
Love that. That's a great recommendation. All right. What's your favorite AI tool or ChatGPT prompt that you've been using?
So we're doing some really cool stuff with it right now. We're actually downloading like all of our reviews, all of the sales data, the GA4, and then interacting with that and saying, hey, what are the things that you see that we can't see? Or, hey, my site converts at 1.5%. My average order value is $100. I want my site to convert at 2% and be $120 average order value in the next 90 days. What do I have to do to get there? And you don't get great answers right off the bat if you ask very generic questions, but the more that you play with that and start going through it, I really believe that we're 6 to 9 months away from, in some cases, doubling the conversion on some of our client stores by the wins that it's giving us, because it doesn't think linearly. It's essentially you have a library of all the information available to you, and you can only read one book at a time if it's based off of you.
Yeah.
But by feeding all of this into this hive mind, you literally get access to all the information at once, and it's really mind blowing what's starting to turn up for us.
I love that. I love that use case of like just diving deep and giving it a very practical, like, hey, in 90 days, how do I increase my AOV? How do I increase my conversion rate? Love that. Like, and just,
Yeah.
it's going to produce ideas, and sometimes you may need to refine them, but it's the ideas that are valuable that then you can go and refine and apply to your own business. Love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Third and final question. Who is somebody that you admire or respect the most in the e-commerce space that other people should be following, and why?
I think it's probably my most successful student of all time. What he's done, it still blows my mind, and I'm excited to be on the journey with him. When he came to me 3 years ago, he was doing less than 10 grand a month. I think he had like $4,000 or $5,000 a month in sales. And this year he'll hit 50 million. He's on pace for 50 million. So in 3 years, he went from 0 to 1 in 13 months. The next 12 months, he went to 14 million. Last year, he did 36.8. This year, he's on pace for 50. He has a newsletter where he basically talks about all the different things that he's went through personally, professionally, his view on how he looks at businesses. It's just really, really fascinating to look. He's a young guy, not very, he's in early 30s. Yeah, I think that I would say I respect him the most. He's very coachable and he's really, really wicked smart.
What's his name, Matt?
His name is Vessal, Vessal. And I'll give you the link for his newsletter. Everybody can go sign up. It's free. He's not trying to sell anything. He doesn't monetize it that way.
Awesome. I love it. So yes, we'll include that in the show notes. It's going to be newsletter.vasaljabari.com.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So take a look at that. Matt, if people want to learn more about you, they want to work with you, they want you to take a peek under the hood of their website and have you share more conversion rate optimization strategies, what's the best way people can reach out to you? What services do you offer?
Yeah, so they can come to buildgrowscale.com, or they can send me an email at matt@buildgrowscale.com, and I would be happy to jump on a conversation, take a look at their site, see if we can provide some value.
Awesome. Matt definitely knows his stuff. If we haven't piqued your interest enough today with all the Jedi mindset shift tactics here with conversion rate optimization. Matt, thanks again for your time. I think we're going to have to do a part 2 because you also have hired a CEO in your business that actually has an Amazon background, has built, scaled, exited some Amazon brands. And I think that will be a worthwhile conversation to say, like, how do you make that jump from Amazon to dominating in the e-commerce space? Just like you mentioned your best student, Vessal, I want to become like Vessal. So how do more Amazon sellers get to 50 million on D2C? And I think that would be a great part 2 if we can twist your arm and get you and your CEO both on here again.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll get the calendar invite.
Awesome. All right, Matt. Well, thanks again for your time today.
Yep. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you for listening. Visit EcommBreakthrough.com for more information. If you've enjoyed today's episode, the best way you can show your appreciation is by clicking the subscribe button and quickly leaving a review. See you again next time.